Oh, I'm live. Hey, everyone. Whoa. Got a, got a super chat already? What is this nonsense? Matthew Perkins sent $5. That's ridiculous. The show hadn't even started yet. Come on, guys. Making me choose between Phil McKnight and 60 Cycle Hum. Here's a few dollars while I watch Phil's stream. Man, maybe I should be watching Phil's stream. Thank you, Matthew. That is too kind of you, even though you're watching Phil right now instead of this. It's fine. You guys don't have to watch this. You can go watch Phil instead. Go watch anyone else that's streaming. It's cool. What other comments do we have here? If anyone does want to join on, the link is in the video description, and I'll dump it here in the chat again. What is this comment all about? Chesley Overstreet asks, why are your Facebook moderators so sensitive? The fact that you're here complaining about it, the first comment on a live stream before I even started streaming live tells me that you're the sensitive one. Like, what are you talking about? The first of all, like the moderators that we have on Facebook are people that I kind of pick out of our Patreon supporters. I'm like, hey, you want to be a moderator? Here you go. And they have power, but they almost never use it. Like they have the power to like mute posts or lock comments, or they can't even like remove people, but they almost never ever do that unless there's someone that's like a bot that's like posting pornography or something like that. Oh my gosh. This guy's sensitive about Facebook moderators. Maybe he'll be in the chat again later. I don't know. Everyone's going to watch Phil. John Pendergast says, hope y'all have a good time going to watch Phil's channel. That's what I get for choosing to do these things on a Friday. This is just the day where I have free time to do this. I've wrapped up all my other work and now I can hang out. Oh my gosh. Who else is in here? Scrolling through the comments trying to catch up. Ah, man. Phil says, Shazam, how were those ribs? They looked supreme. Thanks for the smoking tips. Oh man, those ribs were fantastic. And I filmed that last Sunday, and I'm actually smoking 2 more racks of ribs right now and 2 whole chickens because my whole family's coming over tonight, my parents and my siblings and everything, and we're gonna watch the Olympic opening ceremonies together. But yeah, I'm at it again. I love smoking meats. I love them smoked meats. Albus Band says your beard is glorious, Ryan. Thank you. It's really coming really coming in, isn't it? My plan right now is to trim it in April. My thing is I've just been letting it grow natural. It's been probably a decade since I let my beard go natural, and I just had the itch this winter to just do it. So I'm going for it. Oh, we got some people waiting to join. We have the Guitar Rabbi. Shalom.
Hey, Phil McKnight.
And we've got Emily from Get Offset. How's it going, guys?
I heard you talking about smoking meats, and I just had to join.
Oh, yeah. Get in on that smoked meat action.
We haven't used our smoker in a few weeks.
A few weeks? It's getting cold.
That's why.
I'm going to keep going through the comments here. Smack of all trades is saying the real way to go is to have Phil in one ear and Ryan in the other. That sounds disorienting. Rick has joined. Hey, Rick.
Hey.
One of you has speakers on and I'm getting a doubling.
That might be me. I'll go and fix that.
It's not me. Oh, I did turn myself down just in case my open backs were causing it.
No, I think it probably here. I can probably test it. Oh no,
Hey.
he just fixed it. I think there we go. That's much better.
Oh.
I just scrolled down to the bottom of the comments. I'm probably not going to be able to keep up on them. So if anyone has anything really extreme importance to tell me, then
Someone heard smoked weed.
That I don't smoke weed, but I will have an edible
I eat
before bed.
weed. Yeah.
I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm sorry. Again.
I synced it.
Getting secondhand internet smoke here. What's going on, guys?
It's going. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
Finally.
Finally.
Got a new strat in that I had to go and review before I came on here and all that stuff. So
Nice. What'd you get?
it's actually a guy that gets Chinese copies and then he makes them his own. It's a website called BT Custom Shop, and that strat over there is the one that just came in.
BT Custom Shop.
Yep.
But he gets import stuff and then he fixes it up.
Yeah,
Really?
and he kind of does his own headstock on
familiar.
them now and all that stuff. And I got this one with a hard shell case for like $250.
I'm looking at his strat style thing here for $250. That's like in a blue and pink burst.
Yeah, that's the one, the blueberry burst.
Interesting.
And I decided, hopefully your audience doesn't get too upset with this. I told him, I said, Brandon, you got to get some branding. You need like your name on there, all that stuff to push your product. So I said, you know what? I'm going to brand it myself. So I put one of these stickers on there.
Nice. Oh my gosh. It's got Brandon on it now.
Yes.
It's kind of close to branding. All right. I treat, for some reason I decided it would be funny that whenever Let's Go Brandon gets said, the call in response to that is to say pants on backwards because it has the same kind of like rhyme to it. It's like pants, Let's Go Brandon, pants on backwards. It's nonsense. It means nothing, but it makes me laugh, and that's all that matters, right? So here is that guitar, $249.99. The color is blue, but it's more like a fade thing.
Yeah.
That is, so he's trimming that headstock down from something else.
Yeah, but he needs a string tree. That's the one issue that I found in it, is that it does need a string tree.
It came with that hard shell case?
Yep.
Wow, my voice cracked as I said that. It came with that hard shell case?
Are you all right there?
Yeah, that's interesting looking. We got a couple more people waiting to join. Oh! Hey, Philip.
Hey.
How's it
And
going?
Ron Kalla, but it's a blank screen. Is there anyone there?
No,
this
just
could
gonna
be
be
fun.
it. Just gonna
Philip,
be
your
a
mic
dick.
looks familiar.
Oh, it should. It should. I took it right out of your drawer with your spare ones.
Oh.
I'm giving up on Ron Kalla.
No.
Need to change.
My comment section has been weird today. Is anyone else's?
No.
Mine usually
quiet
is because there's
today.
nobody in it.
I just had the guy who was like super duper mad about how I gave away that Afford Strat.
Oh, right.
God.
And then I had this guy who just is dying on this hill. I demoed a pedal that's $225, and some guy in the comments said, "Better be good for $355." And I just responded, "It is not $355." And then he said, "I saw it somewhere for $355," and I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." And then he kind of just keeps going, and then he accuses me of bullying him. I'm like, I just said it's okay to be wrong, and then admit that you're wrong, and then he told me to do better. I'm like, I just laughing, like, what?
It reminds me of when JHS was teasing the seesaw thing that never came out.
Oh, God.
And everyone was up in arms about it, and there was all this drama online. And I just started going around on different forums, and I kept saying, "I can't believe this is going to be $900." And people would reply and be like, "Where did you hear it was going to be $900?" Like, I didn't, but I can't believe it.
I think it's like, I know exactly what this dude did. He Googled death by audio filter, and then he saw the evil filter somewhere. That's a much more
That'll
expensive
do it.
pedal.
See, I
But
do
guess
the
what?
opposite.
This dude just won't admit he was wrong.
Right.
Or they were wrong. I don't know this person. It's just some weird mistake. The thing is, like, every single comment this person's left has gone to spam. So I assume they're just a general internet troll. But I'm just gonna like keep letting them comment because YouTube won't.
Yeah. Feed that algorithm, baby.
Yep, that's it. I don't get YouTube comments. I've been getting weird TikTok comments.
Oh, those are the worst.
I've even deleted a couple. Most of them have been fine, but I got
can be
one
the
on the goofy Telecaster like bad country picking video I did, and like a guy's like this is pointless. You should listen to such and such. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like what's? Did you miss the point where I said that this is bad, that this is pointless? I said
yes. They don't care, man.
This.
They don't care.
Well,
They're
see, I
dumb.
think everybody on TikTok, I think it's a prerequisite to be on drugs, in all honesty, because TikTok makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's like, it reminds me of when I was in college and watching The Wall. You know, it's like, this is the headspace I need to be in order to be on TikTok.
It has a very unique sense of humor. Like, TikTok is a very unique space, and it took me a while to like figure out what was going on there. And it's a weird place to jump into because it just dumps you into the weirdest content possible when you first sign up.
Yeah, it's like we don't know what you want, so we're gonna give you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and it's like some of the stuff they give you is like, I don't want to end up on a list. Like, what is
And like, it's one of those things where it's like all mine's music, and I get music, I get woodworking, I get a lot of library stuff, I get a lot of anti-racism stuff, but I also get a lot of fucking disc golf. Sorry, fecking disc golf. Like, where did disc golf enter this algorithm? I don't understand.
What is disc golf? What are you kids looking at? What is this?
It knows that you're going to get into that in the future. It's figured you out. You're going to be into disc golf big in like a year, and it knows it. Disc golf is frisbee.
Frisbee golf. Okay.
Frisbee golf.
Yeah.
Like a discus with a heavy discus. So
yeah, they have different weights of frisbees, and they throw them at these chain targets. And I've seen videos of it pop up, and it can be very impressive. Like, they throw these things hundreds of yards and hit a target and stuff like that. Also looks very frustrating and a good way to throw out your shoulder. So I'll pass.
It's super fun.
I'm gonna throw out my shoulders when I'm playing a guitar. It's too heavy.
But I've never done a Google search for disc golf. I've never like looked at YouTube videos of disc golf. I've never done anything for disc golf, and suddenly just like every fourth video is disc golf.
It is weird, the stuff that they show you, and then because you sit there and you watch it like, oh, what is this? You know, like while you're doing it, like, oh, great. I'm going to be served this forever now. Yep. Like, this is burned into my algorithm, and I'm never going to not be able to see this. Like, I think I stopped and watched like one video of a dude getting pulled over by a cop once. And it's one of those videos that's like where the guy getting pulled over knows like every law on the book. And
oh yeah, I love those. I love it when cops pull over lawyers.
Right. And I watched one of those, and now they serve them to me all the time. And like they start, I'm like, I have to click away from this because my entire feed will be this if I don't click away from this right now.
Yeah. I get a lot of cat videos, like people rescuing cats, taking home cats for the first time, and stuff like that. It just makes
there should be a button that randomly sends you into a randomized result, like a randomized algorithm.
This is the no algorithm algorithm.
My weirdest is I'm in lock picking TikTok. That's my weirdest.
I get that one guy with the master lock.
Master lock, he just like breaks into a master lock with a like zip tie. I'm like, is it that fucking easy?
He must be paying for exposure, because I get him too, and I have no idea. We're all getting the master lock guy. Like, why?
I think it's like that. I think it's just like because you watch it like 5 times because you're like, is it real? Is it real? And it is. It's just they're bad locks.
There's a lot of criminals feeding the algorithm, is what it is.
Well, there's that old saying like, it's like it's something like a padlock is a good way to keep honest people out, like a fence is, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like it's not going to keep out like people who want to really break in because they'll just get like bolt cutters. Lock
picking is like a big hobby. Like my brother-in-law has like lockpick sets, and is like
Louis the 16th, like picking locks.
Is big into lockpick. Has been big into picking locks for like 14 years, as far as I'm aware. Like he was doing it when I was dating my wife. Well, she wasn't my wife. I was dating my girlfriend. Now she's my wife.
Well, now you're dating your wife, and he's still into it.
Yeah. Now I'm dating my wife. Exactly. But I wasn't dating my wife back then. She wasn't even my fiance. I was dating my girlfriend. I was dating my ex-girlfriend, current wife. So I've got
I'm gonna start calling my husband my ex-boyfriend.
I got one weird
Accurate.
comment today, and I think that was it for me. This person said, "Nice video, period. I'm not a fascist, period."
Why wasn't that on my video for like the excess demo? Because I wore an anti-fascist shirt for that.
And I did some video.
Literally wore an Antifa shirt.
Oh, when I opened up the pedals from what is it, Demon Effects or
Demonic effects.
Demonic Effects? They had
Demonic machines.
Demonic Machines. So
Yeah.
now together we remember the name of the company that we both worked with.
Lucky. Lucky and Angela. Yeah.
Right. I thought like, oh, maybe he's commenting on that because I read one of their stickers that said this machine kills fascists. No, it was a completely different video. So why was this person commenting that they're not a fascist randomly on a video where that wasn't in the video at all? Because I'm pretty sure the Demonic Machines video is the only video I've ever said the word fascists in.
Maybe that's just their thing. You know how like there was that trend in like the late 90s where everybody was saying ciao when they were saying bye for whatever reason. It was like a thing. Like and maybe that's just his standard way of signing off. I'm not a fascist.
Not a fascist.
At that point, like I kind of think you might be though.
Yeah.
It might be. I mean, that's a solid sign off. Like,
It's like when people would be like no homo after saying something.
Oh God. Yeah.
If that's
It
if
feels
that's
a
the
lot
deal,
more like no homo.
then I'm gonna sign off with
I don't care if
I'm-
you are.
I'm not awesome.
It's like
Stroke
I'm just
the
a
beard at two at
fucking
the same time.
loser.
I was chatting with Andy Ferris today from the Guitar Geek channel, and I told him that I had to go because I had to go put a chicken in the oven, and and for somehow that morphed into like that should be something people say to each other as far as like you're like, oh, have a good day. But no, what he said was like, enjoy your chicken, and I was that's the thing we should say to each other, like, hey, have a nice day, enjoy your chicken, and like. You're gonna have chicken eventually. We're all gonna eat chicken eventually, unless you're vegan.
See,
Like-
every morning I tell my wife when she leaves to go to work, I tell her have fun storming the castle, just because I love the reference.
But now people could mishear it. Like I said that to some friends who were leaving my house once, and Rick said, my husband Rick said, "Did you just tell them to have fun storming the Capitol?" And I was like, "No."
Oh man,
That S is important.
I am not great at enunciating. My brother hit me in the mouth with a yo-yo when I was really young. I blame
yeah. Hey, Ron.
There's Ron. He is a real person.
up?
Awesome.
Did any of you ever watch The Prisoner, that old 60s British weird like spy show?
Mm-mm.
Anybody ever watch that?
No.
Nobody ever watched that?
I've never seen that one.
I got it.
Because they would always do this thing where they would say, "Be seeing you."
Yeah.
And
Say
so I
okay.
started doing that for a while, and I was like, God, I'm such a sci-fi nerd. They, like anybody who gets it probably thinks, oh God, I'm gonna meet him at the next Star Trek convention or whatever. I was like, I gotta stop doing this. This is too nerdy.
Well,
But
now
nobody
you
knows
can't do that anymore though. At least for a while,
Why?
that was like for like a hot minute, like that was like a white power thing.
Really?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah,
For like,
It was a white
Jeez.
power thing.
it was like
Why-
it's okay to be white.
Yep.
Like
Shit.
no one's saying it's not okay to be white.
No, it was what it was is it was white. Your fingers are making a W and that's making a P. Like that was
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Oh, give me a
that's
break.
Stupider.
yeah.
Okay, maybe everybody's looking weird at me. When I was doing it.
Let's be the other hand. That's
I
the
think
other hand.
anyone intelligent can tell the difference between someone going like, "Hey, that's okay," or someone going, "Ha, I got you, ball gazer," and someone going like, you see, I'm doing the thing. Like,
I'm sorry, this can mean too many things entirely.
Yeah.
Like I used to
Yeah.
do this for 3 and I've just stopped.
Mm.
I'm like
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. It's too many things. It's too
I
many.
only use one hand signal and it's completely unambiguous. No.
Is it just-
Yep.
all right, who knows?
the first time I went to summer NAMM was the first time I went to Nashville in like 3 years. I was crossing a street and a car just did not want to stop for me, and I was like in a crosswalk, and so like I was in Nashville for all of 15 minutes before I was giving someone the double bird, and my husband was like, Emily, they do have guns here. This isn't Seattle. I was like,
I'll tell you, all of Nashville is that way. I went to the Gibson garage last year.
Mhm.
They are, and I love Gibson guitars. I love them. I ceased to be a fan after meeting their employees there.
Uh-oh.
They were just
Oh.
like, you know what? We don't want to answer any questions. Other people were asking things, saying, "Can I try this?" And they're like, "Oh."
You
It's
had
like,
the
really?
opposite interaction I did.
yeah, it's not,
Really?
that
Did
wasn't
you
my
pay the
experience.
$20 parking too when you went?
No,
No, I walked
yes.
there.
I paid it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Ryan paid it. I paid for lunch.
Paid it. We had the
No,
opposite.
but I was there with my Gibson rep, so I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just kidding.
Philip and I had a different situation because we walked in and Mark Agnesi recognized me and
Oh, there you go.
gave us the grand tour. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he
we,
didn't recognize me, but I did. I
even
costumed him.
beyond that, the one employee that we really had the most interaction with was like super chill, super cool.
Yeah. See,
he admittedly was a Fender fan more than a Gibson fan.
maybe they fired whoever
Yeah,
you
they may
talked
have fired that guy.
I mean,
or maybe you talked to Mark Agnesi. He was having a hard day. All right, we've got someone else who wants to join. I don't see any videos, so this could be risky.
no, don't do it. 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 Don't do it.
We'll
Don't do
see.
it.
Are we about to see a dick? We'll find out.
Probably. You know we are.
I don't see anything. It's
You know we're about to see a penis.
just a logo of it.
Hello.
Oh, it's the voice.
Hello.
Yeah, that's me. Hi. How are
Hey,
you?
nice to meet you.
You guys shut your other window.
We shut our other what?
Like the window you're watching the feed from. Just have Stomp Yard open.
Oh,
What's going on?
I'm kind of using it through the browser and YouTube. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I'm on mobile.
Gotcha. It's showing you as a little logo instead of a video. So
looks like a snake.
we're just happy that
It
you're
looks like a Pokemon type thing.
we're just happy that you're not a picture of a penis.
No, I'm not gonna do
Yes.
that. No. I can
Yes.
flip the camera.
There you go.
That could have gone really
the odds
bad.
were so low. because
We've had a few
Oh,
bad
wow.
experiences.
Anything else?
No,
Welcome
I
to the
just
show.
feel. Oh well, thank you. Yeah.
When I was in Tennessee, they were obsessed with my accent. Like obsessed. Like everywhere I went, they were like, "Are you from the north?" And then
Tennessee?
Memphis.
Oh, okay.
I don't even hear an accent.
Yeah, I think I talk like the people on TV.
No, you have an accent. It's okay.
I
you
know.
talk-
I know.
Everyone has an accent.
Everyone not from where I'm from tells me that, but like remotely,
I-
I think I sound like the people on TV. I don't know.
I'm from an hour south of Memphis, so you have an accent.
But they were like,
I'm from the Jersey Shore.
Mm.
You don't have an accent out here, or if we do,
No, you have a New Orleans accent.
Y'all got accents. I have accents.
yeah, man.
Do I have an accent?
Yes. We
You
all
know,
have
everybody
accents.
thinks we talk like this about it. Hey, how you doing?
Emily has a confused accent though, because Emily's from the Midwest, lived in Nashville, now lives in Seattle. She says y'all with a Midwestern accent that's
Oh,
tinged
yeah.
with Northwestern. It's
Oh
weird.
yeah, sure. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
you betcha.
Hey, y'all.
I was
My-
in,
Oh,
My
Yeah.
wife had a best friend in high school who was a recent transplant from Minnesota. And every now and then my wife gets like Minnesota stuff mixed into the way she talks because she hung out with this Minnesota girl
like,
throughout high
don't you know?
school.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Me
You know, I had a
eh?
little bit of a
Yeah.
hot dish
Oh.
for lunch. That was nice. I made myself a hot dish for
Oh
lunch.
gosh.
I'm just from Ohio, though. I'm
You know,
not from
people
like.
from Minnesota sound vaguely Canadian, eh?
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
they're so close to Canada, but they're not
Yeah,
like real Canadian. They're not like Ottawa, Canada. Yeah.
Lucky has joined. Hey,
So
Lucky.
lucky.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What I wanted to pop in for was I just picked up a little Ibanez short scale bass.
Oh, fun.
Like a micro?
Yeah, micro. Yep.
They're good quality for what they cost.
Yeah, I paid like $182 for it, I think.
And that's new, right?
Yep, brand new. right off the
Wow.
shelf.
Look
Wow.
this thing up.
I need a
Ivan
short
has
scale base.
micro banks.
Ibanez did this weird thing where instead of raising their prices over time, they just changed the country repeatedly, and they kept like the SR200 has always been like $200. They just like it was Japan, then it was Korea, then it was China, then it was Indonesia.
I
But
have one of those too, an SR200.
Yeah, they're good, man. They do what they're supposed to do. I mean,
They'll
I
be
wonder
made
what
in
the-
Guam next week.
I mean,
I
Like,
restrung this
country.
sucker with flat wounds.
I love me some flat wound. I usually play them on jazz, but I love flat wound.
I've been
But
having fun with that Eastwood base that I've got, and I keep thinking this would be a lot better with flat wounds because it's got like this semi-hollow thing going on and like a arch top bridge sort of thing going.
You didn't even have to say what base it was, and you could have said this would be a lot better with flat wounds, and you'd be right.
Yeah, right. Now flat wounds
actually,
do.
I'll tell you this short scale thing with the flat wounds. It's like there's a lot more tension on the neck.
Yeah.
and it's actually nice.
I find that harder to play, but yeah, you have to mess with the strings to get the right one on a short scale.
It's true. The strings I have on here are actually long scale strings that were cut down.
Ant Creates asks, do you guys all have YouTube channels? No, I don't think so.
I don't.
No, I
But-
do. But not really.
I do as well. It
I
sucks,
do, but it's
though,
not
but I
really
do.
used.
Our rabbi does, but we don't all. So
I
Jeff
do
is
as well.
joining me. We are getting full up, guys. I think we've only got one spot left.
I like how
Uh-oh.
every time someone comes in, my center changes, so I'm just like leaning over further into like the
Yeah.
camera, like I'm
But,
awkwardly on my chair trying to stay centered.
I
It's the
lucked
worst
out
when-
because where I'm at there's a really great like privately owned guitar shop around here. Like not a big box store thing.
Nice.
Oh,
So I lucked out, and the owner is, I don't know, kind of eccentric, but
If you're
He's,
going to own a
uh,
business and not be eccentric, like what are you even doing?
yeah, well, true, yeah, true.
Come on.
I miss the old
But,
mom
I
and
mean-
pop stores where you could trade stuff in for 60% of what they'll sell it for. You know, they don't exist anymore. Like where you just
This-
go back to the same store over and over again and like trade in the last thing you got from them for the next thing you were going to get from them. Like
Doing
There's
Seattle.
We have like a couple of those left, but there used to be so many more.
Guitar
we-
Center ran them all out around me. Like
Yeah.
slowly.
Well, we had a Guitar Center here, and nobody went.
Well, Guitar Center kind of like did most of the work, and then just the rise of the internet and
Yeah.
return policies on the internet like kind of dealt the final blow for most of them. You've either got to have a killer repair shop or rent instruments to the local marching band to make it as a music shop these days, you know.
It's true.
Ain't nothing
I
wrong
mean-
with that.
The guy by me, he mostly deals in like new and used stuff, but mostly he's got a lot of old catalog guitars and stuff and floating around in the shop, so it's kind of cool.
Like catalog guitars mean like old like harmonies and silver tones.
Yeah,
yeah,
Harmonies,
Sears stuff.
Silvertones.
I like the Jap ones.
He's got
Jeff,
a couple of. He's got a couple of.
That one.
A couple of Tyscos that are in really nice shape.
Who's playing right now?
He's got like he's got a mint condition Tysco tulip sitting right on the wall, hanging right on the wall.
oh, those are cool. I love those.
I have one of those. It sounds awesome.
It's
never
all
played
there. Everything's still intact. The pickups are there. Even the whatchamacallit, trem arm is still there too. It's not missing.
Oh, really? Because I had one, and there was that arm had been long gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Almost
and he's got
always.
He's got another one. He's got another one that's a lot like the Hound Dog Taylor guitars with the 4 pickups.
I'm about to go on a search for an old school K Stella, Silvertone arch top. But it's got to be like I'm gonna have to really search because I want one that's playable, and I can't afford. Who's the guy who rebuilds them? I can't remember. It makes them like super playable, like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
forgot
can't
the name
think
of
of
that guy.
Yeah,
But there's-
those are like $1,200, $1,400. No, I want to spend like $300 and get one that I can, shade tree luthier it into playing.
Yeah, there's a guy, like it might be multiple guys or it might be just one dude, but he gets old guitars like that, like old harmonies, old silvertones and stuff, and he like pulls apart the neck, he like redoes the truss rod, he refrets them, and he makes them look like the way they're supposed to look, but he makes them
Yeah.
play like modern instruments.
Yeah,
I've
you have
always
to
wanted-
remove the top on it and then fix everything and then put the top back on.
Yeah, exactly.
And no one's willing to do that. Like people aren't willing to do that.
Exactly. I'm trying to find the company. Because I feel bad talking about it without saying the name of the company.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know, man. It's just
But if you
hanging around-
find one, it's not gonna play right. Like if you
No.
find one for
Well, you
$300.
no,
So
that
there's
neck's,
a- there's a-
that
there's a
neck's
shop-
gonna be way out of whack, man.
There's a shop in my hometown that he specializes in that kind of guitars because it's in like the heart of blues country, and so a lot of tourists come through. He finds them. I've probably played. I don't want to talk about how many of the cheap Sears store guitars I've played, but he has 50% success rate on their playable, so you can find them. They exist, but you just got to find a
Yeah.
shop that's what they do.
Well,
And-
you have to figure that half of them didn't play at all, but they got thrown out, right?
Oh,
So like
100%.
the ones that have lasted already were the good ones, and then they like people put them in a closet against the wall without a case, and then but the ones that didn't play, which was like half of them, are gone now. People just threw them out. When
I have a theory that if you want to find an old guitar that plays well, then you have to look for the ones that are beat up, because the ones that
Yeah,
are
the ones
Right.
that didn't play were the ones
Right.
that ended up in the case, pristine,
right.
in a closet. Those are the
And you-
ones that didn't play well.
you find a super duper clean silver tone, it means
Yeah.
that it's probably not great. Like you know,
Yeah.
don't buy it off the internet. Like,
It's like the 2000 era Squires. They're either like the Yako Factory ones are like really good guitars, and then the other ones are like barely a toy that you can't play. And they came out the same year. Like they were both like labeled Squire, and that's why you can't buy that kind of stuff off the internet, because like you have no idea what's coming to you, and someone's already wanting to sell it. Like someone's already like, I ain't keeping it.
yeah, there should be a site, like a Reverb style site, where everyone just lists everything that they own, but it's not necessarily for sale. It's just like, I own this, and if there's someone looking for something specific, they're like, hey, I see that you own this, do you want to sell it? And they're like, no, I don't. They're making
I
all
feel like that's called my YouTube channel.
like trying to buy things from people that don't necessarily want to sell, and that's how you know it's good, because they don't want to sell it.
But I think on Reverb now they
Right,
actually
right.
have my collection. You can
Yeah, but
actually
that's not
add,
public.
right.
It's
It's not public. Ah,
I don't
Why
know
would
if
you
I
have
want
it?
Reverb.
Well, so you can have. Okay. There's a couple of reasons. One, so Reverb can know what you have,
Right.
and they can
That's-
see notifications if like the value's gone up versus what you paid for it. I use it to collect for my insurance.
I
It
get
ties into it,
I get
so.
emails from Reverb saying you own this pedal because you bought it on Reverb. Do you want to sell it? Like all the time. Like
Oh,
they
God.
just like that's what they're trying to do with my collection. They're trying to get people to sell their stuff.
I get those same calls every day, all day. Only is for my house. Like, hey, you live in a house, you want to sell your house?
Oh my god, I get those calls too. Oh my god, it's terrible.
Seattle housing is weird.
Here that I want to read. Sporty Rider 72 super chatted $10. Thank you so much. This is more money than I deserve to answer a question. But surf grip on a Telly, not really a Strat guy. Yeah, there's no reason. I actually really, really like the sound of a Telly bridge pickup for a really twangy sort of percussive surf sound. And it's been in my head for a long time that something I'd really love to have is a guitar with a Jazzmaster pickup in the neck and a Telecaster bridge pickup in the bridge, obviously. And that would be like a really good combination for me as far as surf sounds go. Typically, you don't find, wiggle sticks on Telecasters, but that's not always the case. They are out there. There's Bixby's on them and stuff like that, but not everyone uses
I hate that.
much.
I hate when people put Bixby's on tellies.
But not everyone uses that much vibrato in surf, so it's really like that's up to you to figure out if that's something that's important to you. But there's no reason.
You're mad. Then be mad about it.
It's a little better when it's hollow body, but
It's a very normal thing to do. Put a Bixby on a telly. Be mad about it.
I just don't like it.
Okay.
But I'm not a tremolo person.
I really a B bender now. I edited that video of me playing a B bender.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want that. I don't want to pay for it. I know Emily is about to grab hers.
I've been thinking about
so much.
So my most recent idea is
man.
sacrilege. I'm thinking about putting a B bender in a Les Paul.
That'd be really cool. I think we should do that.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
I have a
That's
telly
what,
with a
that's what
B-bender.
Jimmy Page did. I mean, he put a B bender in a Les Paul. So
How would that work with the pneumatic? Wouldn't it bind up, or you do like a roller,
Well, you
saddle?
take it off. You take the pneumatic off. You put the.
you got to look
like
at
the
you got to
big
look
speaker.
at you got to look at Jimmy Page's that he did. He did his number 2 that way.
You
All right.
probably you probably
I can't remember how
change
it's
that
done.
one saddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page.
Do you guys know these Czechoslovakian Telecasters
No.
from like the 70s? But they actually have like a really good like Jazzmaster tremolo
That's
copy
interesting.
on it.
Oh
And,
wow!
Interesting.
And the pickups actually, they sound really, I mean, they have like kind of a Jazzmaster sound to them. But I was
Who-
thinking about putting a telly bridge in the bridge instead.
what
but,
brand is that again?
Jolana, made in Czechoslovakia. It's like really like Cold War.
Wow.
The
Like, I
problem
mean,
with the Czech and Russian stuff is it's hit or miss, man. Like they either don't play, don't plug into anything, like don't work with quarter-inch plugs, or they're cool. It's like
Yeah, this
such a
one-
risk.
This
That
one
thing
wasn't
looks
very
like-
good in the beginning, and then but I put the Duesenberg D tuners on it, and I kind of had to go send it to get plecked. I can usually like pick up guitars and fix them up myself and adjust the neck and stuff, but with this one, it was just like I got to give it to somebody else. I cannot.
That sucker
it.
kind of looks like a Strat and a Duosonic put
be better.
together.
I don't think a hip shot B bender would be as good. I don't
So-
like hip shot B benders as
That's
much.
I like the one you
done.
push down the lever.
Sporty Rider.
It,
Super
like,
chatted again. Thank you,
like
Sporty
with your
Rider.
hand, but then that doesn't free up as much.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I really don't play that type of music.
I really want that experience of doing the strap thing, but I have looked at those hip shots and they do look fun, and I could see myself
Yeah.
learning to use them. The
They're a lot more physical. They are a
Yeah.
lot more physical, so that's just something to keep in mind.
I always wanted the hip shot D tuner on like basses and guitars.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
that's just cool.
It seems incredibly useful too.
Yeah. You can just switch into the bar chords like at any time, you know.
The hip shot B and G benders work really well if you're a lap steel player where you're already playing with it in your lap. I know that's a very common thing amongst most of the lap steel players I know. I mean, like people who like that's their main instrument.
I don't
But,
think they're talking about the palm ones. I think they're talking about the ones that you actually push with your hip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not the palm ones.
Yeah,
oh
like
no,
you
that
push
sounds
it.
terrible.
Yeah. No, I
Mm.
agree.
That sounds awful.
I've seen videos with them,
Mm.
and I just they don't look very natural.
It also
It
feels
doesn't
like you
look
need to
fun.
have like dance or rhythm to make it work, and that's just not happening.
I also
couldn't-
worried I worry I'd tear my jeans, and my jeans are expensive.
Oh, brag over here.
No,
Jeez.
it's just
I
man,
got
I go through jeans.
what brand is it? I'm just curious.
Radian. Because
never-
not to brag, fellas,
I believe
but
you.
I don't think not to brag to the ladies, but this is my phone, this is my jean pocket, this is my phone fitting all the way into my jean pocket.
Yeah,
I kind of miss the
women
baggy
in the
jean
chat,
days.
the women in the chat know what a flex that is.
Look, women can
Small pocket in my
either
jean. That's my phone
women
fitting
can
small
vote or they can
pocket
have
in my
pockets,
jeans.
not both.
What brand are
Wait,
those?
what'd you say to me?
I said, what brand are those?
Radiant. Philip, what'd you say to me?
I said women can vote or they can have pockets. I can't do both.
Okay, you're getting banned from my Discord server.
It was actually a TikTok that I saw recently where it was a woman talking about the not having pocket. And it was like men gave, we finally got the right to vote, but they were like, not pockets though.
I'm not 100. Yeah, that's the hip. That looks awful.
Oh,
Like,
not that.
Oh, no.
Why would you do that? What the?
No.
Look at
That
this.
hurts just looking at it.
How is that? No.
This is like it's a butt bender. Like you push that bar against.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if you
too
got really like if you think like getting a bruise on your leg from playing a tambourine is bad.
No.
Sporty writer, stop sending me money. You sent me too much money.
Yeah, send me money instead.
Because, oh, come on, Ryan. It's a wiggle stick for one string. What's better than that? I mean, he has a point. I mean, that was like the king of wiggle sticks right there. That is ridiculous.
Brought to
Yeah.
you by Chips
like
in
that at all.
USA.
Yeah.
What is-
It's the relapse Z.
How would that even work? Do you like?
I've never even seen
Are
it.
you like? Are you shifting the guitar side to side to get it to work?
Yes.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
feels like you don't need all that though.
Well, it
You have
feels
to,
like a
push.
metal bar is pressing against your butt. It feels like.
I know,
Okay.
it doesn't look like fun.
I can just
Wow.
imagine like going for
Bizarre.
that crazy
Right.
bend and then pulling your guitar back and catching the bar. And no.
I'm not going to judge. Some people might love it. I don't know.
Now
I
the
don't think
thing
anybody
is, though,
loves it. I think it's just like an easier way to install a B bender because normal B bender you have to route through the back of your
Yeah.
here's how they
Yeah.
market those things, okay? They are marketing exclusively to people on YouTube because of the fact that people like me are saying, that is the dumbest darn thing I've ever done. I got to buy one and review it.
No, it's people who don't want to do. It's people who don't want to route out the back of their guitar like Gene Parsons did.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
this is and it's a lot of heavy hardware that just kind of attaches to the back. It's the same with the Relapse Z B bender, which is you can get for like $40, and that's the one that you do use your palm with.
They have the one that's just the saddle. It just changes the saddle out, and it's like
the
a
Relapse.
yeah.
The
That's
Relapse.
the one I have. I like that one, but I still never use it.
How do you
Doesn't
guys
pick
feel
up your
about?
hands, though.
How do you guys feel about bass trends?
About what?
A bass
I don't
trem.
have
Bass
any.
tremolo.
A bass trem.
I'm
Why
for
not?
it. I've never used one, but I support them fully.
100% for them.
Just bend the string with your finger.
But you can't bend down. You have to slide down. And that's what you can bend up. You can't bend down.
But fretless
Yeah.
basses are more common than fretless guitars.
That's true. And it's
That's
like,
true. Because you can't play a fretless guitar or scallop guitar. People act like they can play them and they can't. They just get them and they just sit there forever. Because you can only like touch it like a very little to make a scallop guitar play. Like you have to play like the frets.
right.
And people get them and then never play them. Never. Like
Steve had a scalloped guitar that he got in a Craigslist trade. So I got to try it. And every person I've seen on internet forums talk about scalloped guitars are like, oh man, imagine the bends. It's not really great for bending.
it's not because you have to
no.
push too far down. It's like
No.
too far of a chasm.
You can't press down. You just have
Yeah.
to press up with it. You can't press down at all.
You're
I
playing
like-
the frets. You're
We
playing
need
the
to
frets.
just go completely all fretless basses with vibratos, and then they just become low end pitch approximators. Just never get it right.
I like it.
Just hook your bass up to a Digitech whammy. It'll work. Fine.
I'm with Stephen Burkett. I also have a bass 6 and I don't ever really use the vibrato on it.
If I had a bass 6, I'd convert it to baritone, which is
Yep.
the thing that keeps me from getting a bass 6 because I already have a baritone. They look really cool, but every time I picked one up, I'm like, it's just a lot of guitar. Like it's big.
I can't decide whether I play it as a bass or a guitar if I got one.
Yeah.
My bassist plays it like a bass, and they
Like you play notes,
come
not
up with
like
some crazy
chords.
stuff. It sounds really.
I've
good
always
on
I've
chord.
always thought that a bass 6 you could do some cool like chordy stuff.
Yeah,
You can do
that's
chordy
not-
stuff, but you don't strum it.
like rhythm, like heavy backing track rhythm type stuff.
I think you can just. They use more like arpeggiated, just like wider.
But people don't give them up once they have them. The bass
No.
sixes.
That's true. Once you have a bass 6, it's like you're married to it. By law, you cannot sell it.
That's interesting.
I've always kind of wanted just to get one for shits and giggles.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've always been curious. I mean, that guy's awesome.
You're giving me too much money. Stop.
You know, Ryan will pay attention to you without you giving him money, but I won't.
Scallop balls are needed to play extremely light, or it just sounds bad and really out of tune, at least in my experience. I can agree with that. Like
Yeah.
the way it felt to me is like what you were saying, like you are only touching frets. Like it makes you feel like you can play faster because your finger never touches wood. It's just like this constant super light, like
You can also play fast on a guitar where the frets are worn down to 20%, but you don't want to because you're not getting good like chord structure. You know, like you can. There's
So
a
it's kind of
reason
a-
no one plays fretless guitars.
So it's
Like-
kind of a psychological effect more than anything else.
Yeah,
I
and it looks
I like
stupid.
I like fretless. I like fretless basses because you can kind of get that. You can kind of get a little microtonal thing going on. And
yeah.
The only thing with fretless basses is basses tend to play the middle of what the fret would be, and you have to play the line when you're playing fretless because when you push down the fret, you are playing the line. Like, and people are always like a half note off when they're playing a fretless because they're trying to center it between the drawing lines,
Yeah.
and you have to play the fret line on a fretless.
To me, it kind of doesn't sound right if you try to.
Well,
play
they're
it
playing the
like
wrong
regular-
note.
Yeah, yeah. If you try to play one of those like a regular bass, it doesn't sound right. You kind of got to alter your playing style a little bit when you play fretless.
I feel like people who play bass think they can do an online fretless bass until they get one, and they're like, "Oh shit," you know, like
It's true. It's true. The shop I was at, he had a fretless jazz, and I was just like messing around with that, but I figured it out pretty quickly.
Fretless instruments, like you should like rent one first.
Yeah. You should know that you can do it.
Right. Like find a place where like maybe you can go and try it, or maybe rent it for a week or something. Is that a thing? Can you rent?
Or like trade with a friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can.
You can rent
rent.
anything. You can rent anything. You can.
Yeah,
buy
you can.
Anything. Yeah.
For like $30, they'll let you rent a guitar for 2 days to play at a show or something.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
They tried to
We're gonna-
make like an eBay for it at one point, where like people would put up their equipment and then it like didn't work or something.
Yeah,
Oh, I
the first
remember that.
the
We're
moment
gonna go to-
someone
We're
decides
gonna
that
go to
they're
Rent a
just gonna-
Center and rent a
yeah, the moment someone decides that they're not going to return the thing that they rented, that whole system falls.
Or like
apart.
they destroy it.
oh
Like
totally.
in the weekend they have it. You know, like
Or if FedEx destroys it, then it's like no one wants to rent out their stuff if it's going to get messed up in shipping. You know?
yeah. How does FedEx destroy guitars that are wrapped in bubble wrap and in a box? Like, how do they break necks on guitar? I've never understood that.
by throwing
try really
by
hard.
throwing it in the truck.
I mean, like, if they took any type of care whatsoever, you can't break the neck of a guitar that's wrapped up inside of a box. Like,
Have you ever? So I have like multiple videos of FedEx just yeeting packages over my fence. That's how.
it's like ridiculous.
6-foot fence.
It really is.
Actually, it's an 8-foot fence.
Here's your guitar. Floop.
All right, watch this. I'm going to put up a comment from Sporty Rider that he did not pay for.
All right.
Yes.
He's broke now. That's why.
I'm sure upright bass people can play fretless fine.
He's all
So
out of
can
money.
like violin players or whatever.
He's like,
Actually, I think
that-
fretless weren't fretless basses really for the upright bass guys. Really?
That's
Right.
where it began.
I mean, they kind of in the '80s they wanted to get that sound, like, but you can do it with frets. Like, you can make the fretless bass sound with frets and a pedal. Like, you know, it's just taking that ding out of crossing the frets with your finger. Like, you can EQ that part of the sound out.
It's
get the
really
same sound.
hard. It's hard
It
to
is.
get it the same.
It
You're
is.
not going to get it. As someone who played upright bass for a few years in a band, it's just not the same sound.
I feel like I couldn't do upright bass.
I sold my bass my upright 3 years
Taking
ago,
shoulder
and I
problems.
have never been so okay with selling an instrument in my entire life.
Yeah.
You wake up in a cold sweat in the morning, and you're like, and then you realize, oh, I sold it. It's not here anymore.
Dude, I drove an F-150 at the time with the King cab, and I could not fit it in my truck.
Oh
It
my
had
gosh.
like the head of it had to hang out the window to take the gig.
Jesus.
It's
crazy.
the most ridiculously huge instrument. It makes no sense whatsoever.
If I saw someone driving down the road with a headless, with a stand-up bass headstock sticking out the window of their truck, I would just follow them to wherever they were going. That person's going somewhere fun. I want to be there too.
Wow.
I always thought when like the kids are in elementary school and they're teaching like the kids violin, like put lines on that for them. What are you doing? Like why won't they do that? Why is it like
They
if
gotta
it's like
learn. They gotta
There's a
learn.
little sticker, like a strip that's a bunch of stickers that's each fret mark.
Yep.
Yep. it's beautiful, Jason.
Buy an upright bass and rent it out.
That's living space.
Tiny houses.
You
You
could probably
buy
fit a
the
family
bass.
of 5 in one.
You buy the bass, but you rent out the case, and you only you Airbnb out the case, and then you just get the case back when you're gonna gig. You know.
Oh, I didn't even have the case. I couldn't have fit the case in the door of the truck.
You rent it out as a studio apartment.
So my
It's bigger than most New York apartments.
Yeah,
my old
sure.
church had an old K upright bass in their storage closet from like the 50s or something like that, and it came with like a naga hide soft case that went around it.
Wow,
And
that's a word I
'cause
haven't heard in a long time.
It like shrunk over the decades, and so every time we like pulled it out to look at it, like putting it back in that naga hide case or whatever like vinyl like weird thing it was just such a pain in the butt. And eventually we talked the church into selling it. We're like, people want to buy this.
Yeah.
No one
it's
in
like trying to get the tent back into that like case it comes in with the poles and stuff.
The church I used to go to sold their organ years ago, and I think it was some kind of Hammond.
Yeah,
It
I'm
costs
sure
so
was.
much money to get an organ player in to
Yeah.
churches.
If I
There's so
could
few of them.
ever get the studio built that I'm trying to build, that's when I'm gonna go buy a real Hammond organ. I want one real bad. There's a couple in my
can't-
area. I just have nowhere to put them.
I can't remember exactly what model Hammond it was, but it still worked, and
I
it
don't
sounded great. But
I don't even play keys at all, but I've always wanted a Rode. Rhodes just sounds so cool.
I got a buddy of mine that plays keyboards, and he's got a Wurlitzer and a Rhodes.
So Ryan, I'm gonna recommend you buy a Korg SV1 instead, and buy one of the older versions because they're cheap used now. Because the SV2 came out, it sounds like it nails the Rhodes thing for as best as you can do without spending $2.5 grand.
I'm never gonna remember that, and I'm probably never gonna do it for the
Did you notice Nord took over Roland's like control of the keyboard market?
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
destroyed it. Like no one wants a Roland anymore. Like that was like every keyboard was like Roland. Now they just like fell out of
Yeah, everyone
like
wants that red
existence.
keyboard.
Yeah. Nord's been super cool for a really long time.
And the weighted keys and all that.
Nord does make a great keyboard.
That's it. Their key bed is the best feeling key bed that I've ever played.
Yeah, that's what people like. The weighted keys feel like a real keyboard, like a real piano or whatever.
Well, not only that, but they're ones that are more designed for organ playing. They feel like the waterfall keys on an old Hammond organ. Because on an organ, there is no weighted keys because an organ is just on or off. There's no velocity sensitive. So it's just you want to be able to move very, very quickly because how hard you're hitting the keys doesn't matter. So you've got to have really light key press on an organ. Anyway.
Perfecto's in the chat. Hey, Perfecto.
Hey.
The ones that are in churches, the big pipe organs are worth like 50 grand now. Like if you take all the pipes out of the church and all.
Yeah, good
Like
luck
they're
with that.
crazy valuable.
Yeah, copper's really valuable. Pipes.
I mean, how cool would it be to record a song though and have an actual like church pipe organ on it?
So I understand churches selling the pipe organs, and I understand them being valuable because of what they are.
But where are you gonna put it?
Who
Yeah,
is
where are you gonna put
buying them, and where are they? Are people buying them for home use? Like what?
Hope so.
Where are they going?
Your organ barn.
Your organ barn.
They're going to the satanic temples.
Come on down to the organ barn.
No,
Other
like-
churches, yeah.
The travel of the travel of the pipes is so long, though. Your keyboard's in one room of your house, and the pipes are in the garage. So you've got to play for the folks that are, pulling in your driveway. You can't play for people in the same room.
Just start playing people going up your driveway. You start playing, funeral dirges.
There's only 4 reasons to buy a pipe organ.
You found 4?
You're or more like an old-timey baseball stadium, or you're a vampire or an evil scientist. Like those are the only reasons.
Fair.
I like old time.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Like 2 of those are, do you live in a castle? Like
Oh yeah.
Do you live in a castle?
And also, like, if you have an organ, the whole church is designed around the thing.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So, like, if you pull it, your church is gonna look weird as hell because, like, the whole thing was designed around those pipes. Like,
Neil,
Every
Neil
church,
Young,
every church that I've gone to that has the organ, they still plug in an electric piano because they don't want to deal with maintenance and stuff like that. And they're like, oh yeah, it's really hard to mix the rest of the band against the pipe organ.
and it
No,
costs
that's
like $300 an hour to get someone to play the fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's like so expensive.
That's why.
We
That's
have a-
why you set up a Hammond organ and a couple of speakers. Bam.
We have an organ pavilion here in San Diego. It's called the Spreckles Organ, and it's an outdoor area in our downtown Balboa Park area where like all the museums are and stuff like that. And the rhythm guitarist from my surf band he did all these cover bands, and he actually got to play a show at the Spreckles Organ with his Doors cover band and the organ for the Doors cover band, and that was fun. That was a fun night.
That actually sounds awesome.
was it like maybe an old roller rink or something originally? Because
No,
like really old 50s roller rinks would have like organ music, huh? Before
No,
there were DJs.
this goes back to like the 1920s or something like that. This park area was built for this convention to celebrate the Panama Canal opening or something crazy like that.
Wow.
and
that's interesting.
and some rich dude named Spreckles paid to make this organ pavilion in San Diego, and it's a big outdoor pavilion, and they usually have plays and like theater productions there, and it's open air. It's really pretty. It's got kind of like this Roman columns thing going on. But the funny thing about it, there it is. You got a picture of it. The funny. Oh shoot!
Did you just kick him out of the chat?
It kicked you out for trying to do
the wrong
screens
button.
and screens.
So they'll do all sorts of like plays and stuff there. But the funny thing about it is that whole area is right underneath the flight path of all the planes landing. And so every time they have a play or any sort of performance there, everyone knows like, okay, about every 10 minutes, everyone on the stage just freezes and waits for like a full minute for like, the jet noise to stop.
Okay.
Love
That's
it.
funny.
The show's back on.
Yeah.
It's like, because you're not gonna rip that down, right? Like, what else are you gonna
Yeah,
do with
exactly.
it? Like, you're
No,
just
it's-
stuck with it there forever.
Yeah, it's historical. They're talking
I'm sure
about they've been talking my whole life about moving the airport. I kind of doubt it'll ever happen, but maybe it will. You know?
What?
If you try to
Moving
tear
an
it down,
airport's
the
a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you got to get it up on jacks and roll it down the road and stuff. Like, it's big. You know?
I'm trying to like think of like anyone who's ever like really moved an airport. Like,
I mean, you're in
My
Cali.
cousin-
If you wait
What?
long enough, it's just going to fall into the ocean anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Denver relocate their airport?
yeah,
I
they
live
did.
in
They
the
relocated it.
I live in the flight path of a municipal airport.
So the oh, look, Sporty Rider.
Hey, it's Spur!
Hey.
Mm.
You don't have to pay $40 to join the stream. That part is
You can just come and talk. That's what us poor people do.
The deal with the San Diego airport that it's bizarrely like inside of downtown San Diego. Like you can walk from the San Diego airport.
But that's what's great about it. Like I was there. It was like a $5 Uber to my hotel.
Right. But that makes it really unusual, and it makes it so that airplanes are like flying over very busy areas, and it's honestly like a really wild landing coming into San Diego. And so they talk a lot. They talk a lot about moving it, and one of the discussions is about moving it to the Air Force Base, which is like 10 minutes away from me, and I'm not stoked about that idea because it would change my neighborhood into an airport neighborhood. And I mean, we've already got the planes flying isn't the issue. It's like, oh, now we're gonna have a bunch of crappy hotels and like Avis car rental places and like crappy chain restaurants pop up everywhere. And, like,
Has anyone else noticed that the $120 hotels are nicer than the $300 hotels? Like they have like the $300 ones, you just get a room and nothing else. But like if you go to like a Homewood Suites or something, like the 120, you get a microwave and a kitchen and a refrigerator and like. And like, you don't get anything in the rich hotels. Like they don't give you anything.
That's because they want you to do like room service because you're like paying extra. You want to do the full rich person thing. Where like the business class hotels is the way to go because it's like you might be
a house.
I've never been more convinced I was going to get murdered than at a gosh.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
No, it was a
Hotel
hotel.
Sixes
No. It was
are
the
actually
Econo
pretty
Lodge
nice.
in Memphis. It was on the top 4 floors of a parking garage, and I was pretty sure I was going to die there.
Econo Lodge in Memphis? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, this is for real. I love Memphis, but you know, you better know what you're getting into.
I went to some shady hostels in Europe. Like shady.
Yo, where I'm at, there was an Econo Lodge up on the highway, and it was like the most nastiest place ever.
It was the worst place I've ever been in my life. Like
now it's a regular hotel.
It was not a great sign when we got there and like all the doors were open, and they're like, "Your room is 109." And we go, and it's like all the doors are open. Like that's weird, right? That was
back
weird.
to the Memphis.
Yeah. I don't know. The second time we stayed at the La Quinta by Graceland, it was really nice. But
so,
did everyone else just see that blackout where we all like went black, or is that just me?
That was you.
No,
also, Brian, somebody asked about your 100,000 subscriber giveaway, and please do not involve me in that.
I think Andy Ferris is going to next victim of me giving something away. So I've been doing this thing. I made Emily a victim. I made Working Class Music a victim, where I give something away in a video, but I send people over to someone else's channel and go like, hey, go spam this channel with comments and go subscribe and stuff, and they'll pick the winner. And it's also, I don't have to do the work to pick a winner because that's the worst part of doing a contest.
Yeah. It is.
It sucks, right?
Yeah, and then one of the people.
Hey, Ryan, I have a favor for you.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah.
What's the favor?
All right, I need you to I need you to surf this awesome hot pink V that I own.
Is that a Sonic? What is it?
It's a Zenison, which is a Amazon. I think I paid $160 for this thing. All I did was put locking tuners on it. Did just your basic setup, and it's actually a pretty great guitar for $160.
It's like Pepto-Bismol pink.
Dude, it is. The advertisement was for hot pink, but it's like
that's not hot pink.
Pepto-Bismol pink. No, not
like moth or something.
So
maybe it was you, but
funny story about this guitar. I
got that brand. Yes, one was $192 on Amazon right now.
That guitar?
The white version of it. I don't see the pink version.
Yeah, it was the same one that Guitar Max reviewed.
Ah, gotcha.
I have no idea who Guitar Max is.
Guitar Max is a guy who covers like all the like import like super cheap guitars. I've met him before. He's a cool guy. He's got big muscles.
That's a cool thing because you
Okay.
have no idea how crappy like a Chinese guitar would be. Because some of them are
Yeah.
really nice. Like some of the like the Charvels. Those Chinese Charvels are like crazy good quality, but like I mean they're also $700. But like it's so hard to guess on the internet whether your guitar is going to come in like so crappy.
Oh, yeah. There's no way to know. And that's
Yeah.
you know, and
Well,
even
so
like
I
even
built,
if I get a guitar and it's good, or even
I
if
built
Guitar Max guitar and it's good, there's
this-
still a chance that it's going to show up and be like the Zoo Way, you know, like
Right.
so
no. So what's that? That's some sort of Telecaster thing there. It looks metallic, like a copper metallic, an orange metallic.
Good sport. Right?
okay. So this is this is GFS. These are all GFS parts.
Ah, okay.
And I was just gonna say that, like, for the GFS stuff, like, I am so happy with this guitar.
Yeah.
This is my favorite.
GFS is
I
really
gotta
good.
say, the fact that the bridge doesn't go all the way up to the pickguard is like killing me, though. But like, I get it, but like, it's killing me.
Okay, so
No, it bothers me.
Here's the thing with this guitar.
Is he cutting? What? Okay, go.
Yeah, what's the thing with the guitar?
You're good.
Okay, so
It's a Duncan Invader, right?
the bridge thing here.
Is he listening
Why is
to
it slow
the
motion?
video?
You can keep talking. Sports writer.
It's all right. It's all right. No worries. No worries.
What's happening?
So going back to the hotel thing, years ago Steve and I had Pusheen on the podcast. He came down and visited us when he lived up in Orange County. He drove down to be on the podcast, and then afterwards he was like, I assumed he was going to drive back afterwards, but he wanted to stay and like go do other stuff in San Diego the next day. He's like, are there any hotels near here? And I live here, so I've never stayed in any hotels near my house because why would I? And I was like,
a fair.
Not a good, nothing good.
yeah.
Not for nothing
And so
good.
I was like, hey, there's one up by the freeway, but I don't know if it's any good. So he left here super late at night, like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. And he goes to this hotel, and I totally, like in hindsight, I should have just been like, do you want to crash on my couch? Please crash on my couch. I didn't think
That's probably what it was going for.
Yeah, I know.
no, I feel so bad.
Take the hint now.
But he was saying, like, he started texting me about it the next day, and he was like, what the hell is up with that hotel? I was like, I don't know. It's not my hotel. I've never stayed there.
I would just sleep in my
I
car.
caught that too. Everybody went black for a second.
Oh, that happened to me too.
All right, so he got the black screen of death is what happened. So anyways, he was saying that he got his room, and on the way there, like the whole time he said to his room, it's just like red flags the whole way. It's basically like a meth hotel. He gets to his room, and the door is like hanging off its hinges and won't close all the way. And he still goes in there and he like pushes the couch or the chair or something against the door to hold it closed. And he said in the middle of the night, someone came and started knocking on his door and yelling at him. And
Oh, hell no.
That's
Hell
a drug,
no.
that's a drug house. That's a drug house. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was the. I feel like I would have
What
heard
kind of
this.
hotel was it?
And the owner knows it's a drug house. Like
need to
that
know
that is a sex drug house.
It looked like a nice hotel from the outside. I had no idea. Like there was a shady element in my town.
Whenever there's a sign that says we sell by the hour, avoid that hotel like the plague.
Yeah,
like if they
that's
sell
not
anything by the hour.
Yeah, that's obvious, but yeah, there was one time Rick and my husband and I stayed at a hotel after a holiday party because we were just driving to Portland the next day. We didn't want to go all the way north, like 30 minutes to our house. So we stayed at a hotel in my friend's town, and we get the key from the front desk guy, and I'm about to go unlock the. Rick's about to go unlock the door. I'm like, where do you just unlock the door, Rick? Just unlock the door. And he's like,
Wait,
come here.
are we all blacked out again?
No, but my computer did that too. I don't know what's going on.
And I go, listen, there is dead ass somebody in that room already.
Ooh.
There are already people in that room. We were given a room that already had people in it.
See, that's why you're not supposed to have more than one key. Like it was like a physical key, not like a card.
No, it was a card.
Okay.
Weird.
It's
Yeah.
like
Hell no.
Yeah. Not great. Not a great experience.
Yeah, because then you go get a different room. Like, hey, there's people already in there. Like, oh, our mistake. Here's the key for a different room.
Yeah.
Like, is that going to happen to me? Is someone going to show up to my room?
Right.
Did not like.
There
So
are people
we
in here.
threw like the chain or whatever, but like no, we did not sleep very well. Not a
Did
great
you end up-
hotel, but it was the only hotel in the town.
Did
Well,
you end up
he-
staying in a room that had
the
people
Guitar
in it?
Max channel reminds me a lot of like the cheap scratch shootout that Ryan did, but he does all different kinds of.
So it's a double.
I think he might have a bad connection.
Yeah.
Best,
But he pays so much money.
This is why you spend a little extra money.
Everything's
and you
GFS
buy
parts.
What the hell is that?
You spend
Hotel,
10 to 15
yeah.
bucks
And,
and it's the
uh,
additional
oh.
hotel room lock. So
Man.
that
Can you send that to me? I'm gonna put it in my. I'm gonna
You
buy it
can't.
and put it in my luggage.
You can't get past that bar that flips on the door.
No,
Like when they
you
have.
just screw
You
that.
can get past that with a rubber band.
yep.
No, you can get past the chain, but you can't get past that big old thing that goes over.
Yes,
Can you?
you can. You can get
Really?
past it with a rubber band.
Mhm.
I've seen it.
Okay.
You
Hey, let me-
Google it with a rubber
let me-
band.
Emily is so like thinking about this that she's
Let me
done.
answer
She
that.
has broken
The
into
reasoning.
I've seen it. I've seen it. They did
The
it in
reason
like
it
30
doesn't
seconds.
come all the way down
Oh,
is
sports writer.
because this is actually a dual humbucker telly. I made the
Ah.
pick guard. I do CNC fab work, so I designed the
nice.
pick guard in
Oh,
CAD.
is it a
And
secret
so-
agent?
I made the pick guard, but it's actually got it's rounded for a second humbucker. But I'm just a one humbucker guy. Like I got, well, except this one. This one's a single, like an Esquire style that I built with the kill switch, which is fun. Yeah.
Didn't
And
Fender
then I've
have a
also
thing where
got
you could?
this other telly that has Seymour Duncan little 59er,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They're
And
nice,
I did a reverse headstock and hip shot gold tuners. So yeah, sorry to distract everybody.
Oh, that's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine. You
that's fine.
finally got enough bandwidth. For your guitar.
Didn't Fender have a thing where if you bought an Esquire, you could actually get the second pickup for free or something back in the day?
That's really funny.
I don't know. Snarky
Don't
Well,
care,
Kid.
there's-
generally
Super
don't know.
chat is
Seymour
$5.
Duncan sells
Thank you,
their
Snarky.
that secret agent.
What?
Secret gosh, did I say secret over? Seymour Duncan sells a secret agent pickup. I'm just gonna put a
Oh,
link
like
in
under the
here.
pick guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, the under the pick guard pickup for an Esquire.
That is kind of cool, but the guitars that have it, you're like, I don't know, that don't seem right. Like the pickups are kind of a cool look of the guitar, but
I mean, the last time I was at the guitar shop at me, I was messing around with different effects on bass.
who's talking?
Picris. Picris.
It usually does the pulsating like thing while they're talking.
Yeah.
Running.
I don't know. It's
Someone
weird.
was playing guitar earlier, and I was looking around. I was like, "Who's doing that?" And you're
Anyway,
that guy down there.
I've discovered I enjoy bass with fuzz pedals. That's fun.
Yeah, bass handles fuzz well.
Yeah, it really does.
Because it adds that like bass back into it that you lose in guitar, and it get But the best bass pedals have where you can put the original sound back into it. Like that makes a huge difference if you can like.
True, but the pedal I was using was I think a Nux tube screamer. I think.
Nux makes so many of the other people's pedals. They make so many of those like the circuit boards.
Yeah, but literally, I'm like, wait, is this an Ibanez tube screamer and a tube screamer in a different casing?
I mean, they've nailed tube screamer. I mean, like you can get it from like any brand, and it's pretty much.
I feel like we need to stop calling tube screamers. We need to start dividing them into subsections because, like, so many things get called tube screamers, and some of them sound wildly different from each other now. Like, there's, in my mind, like the classic tube screamer sound is that kind of like half clean, blended, really tight, fancy kind of sound, like a distortion that's behind a clean mix sort of thing. But then there's tube screamer variants that are very like just like overdrive and distortion forward with like this loose grit and stuff like that, and not fizzy at all. It's like, how can these all be tube screamers and everything in between? Like, I feel like tube screamer is a meaningless term at this point.
So is it like tube screamer and tube loud talker?
Right.
Or
tube loud talker.
A valve.
Well, it's like
tube whisperer. We need the tube whisperer pedal.
A really good example to me is the plumes. Everybody loves the plumes. Plumes is a great pedal. Does not sound like a tube screamer. That's probably why so many people love it.
And
but the
plumes the same way. Like I have the Palisades, and it's supposed to be like an ultimate tube screamer. You dial in any tube screamer sound. I've never once dialed in a traditional tube screamer sound.
Yeah. I have the Keeley tube screamer, and like it's so like I don't know, like bougie, but like it does like give me the EQ I want. But like anything analog, they've nailed the copies of. They really have. Like you may not want it, and at a certain point, you're going for the quality of components, but you can get the sound from cheap pedals. Like people need to just admit that you can get a tube screamer sound from like a $20 pedal.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say about the plumes is though, the plumes is my favorite pedal for my favorite fuzz for bass.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
I love the Highwayman. That like cheap ass like whatever that is.
Is that a K line?
Yeah,
this is
a $20 tube screamer from Amazon. That's not bad.
That's seriously like a tube screamer.
The plumes is made by Earthquaker.
Nux makes those for Amazon.
Yeah, it's basically.
Yep, that's basically the Nux pedal because I like those for bass too. Those are really nice.
But for some reason, you pay $40 for the Nux and $20 for the Amazon.
I can see what was going on camera on my side here, but no one else could. I was like, I got it lucky full screen.
Hi.
Dog.
Yeah. It's my dog.
See, I discovered the plumes rocks with bass because I was looking for trying to get that like weird psychedelic fuzz.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly.
Does it have like a different EQ, the plumes, or because usually a tube screamer totally shaves off all the bass?
It's got three different. It's got three different gain stages, I think.
No, it's got
the EQ.
No. It's got an asymmetrical clipping. It's got a symmetrical clipping. And it's got a clipping mode that takes the compressor out of it.
Control. I run volume wide open and just let her scream.
So, Wayfarer, you were asking about this one, if it's overrated. No. I think the King of Tone is an incredible $285 double overdrive. You know what it's not? It's not an amazing $800 overdrive. Do not fucking
that's
pay
what I have in the black
$800
one.
for a King of Tone. Do
Wasn't
not
it like-
do it.
What is it? It's like a blues breaker and a two screamer, right? Like
Nope,
is that?
it's two blues breakers.
It's two blues breakers. There
And
you go.
it's got internal switches that you can change it from more of a clean boost. You can do an overdrive or you can do a distortion with it.
Yeah.
I run overdrive boost. It's a really compressed sound, which is what the blues breaker is. If you've ever played an original one, which they're impossible to find working for under, what are they running now? Like some absurd number.
God, I sold so many valuable pedals.
Yeah. So it but the King of Tone, I was talking about this in a TikTok video recently. It is an incredible pedal for $285. But don't $1,000. That's dumb.
People on TikTok are going to eviscerate you if you say anything over $100 is good. That is the TikTok thing. They're like, is that more than $100? Eat my shorts. They hate it.
$100 is not the mark that it used to be.
I mean, it's like, why would you buy anything new? Like, why would you buy anything new when, like, the second it leaves the store, it's half price?
It's not now, though. New used price right now is almost the same as new on almost everything.
Yeah, that's not even true.
That's true.
Yeah. The used
That's
market
totally
is completely trashed right now. It's up.
I feel like
50,
people are
60%.
listing it for
about
that,
cars. It's almost like
but they're not selling it for that. Like, the used prices are listing high.
I'm selling it for that used, and I'm getting almost new price for stuff when I sell it back.
See, that doesn't make sense. At a certain point, why wouldn't you buy the new one?
Exactly. Buy the new one.
Because you can't find them in stock because people are having component shortages.
Their
'cause
supply
they don't
is
exist.
like all sorts of stuff, like on all sorts of retailers, like it's all stuck in pre-order hell. Like it's stuff that is getting launched. Like someone just commented on my Maestro video today. Like, oh, too bad it's sold out already. Like, it just launched.
Someone was asking earlier about the Tone Master.
I have to say,
series
Ryan, I enjoyed that video, the Maestro demo. That thing's a killer.
I really love that fuzz, and the delay is fantastic. I kind of want to check out the chorus. I might.
The one they didn't base off the original fuzz pedal that they actually designed.
Well,
but
so
the one
other
that
than
nobody
Ryan,
really liked.
Because it sucked.
who I know didn't care for the Quan. How do y'all feel about the concept?
I hate it.
I don't get it. I don't get the obsession, but
I've never played a Klon pedal and been like, oh wow, yeah, I need to chase this. I've actually played an original silver Klon back in the day. A buddy of mine had one in for his shop, and I played it and I was like, well, that's cool, I guess, but it's really not my thing at all. And I've played so many different clones of Klons over the years, Klon clones, and they just don't do it for me.
I have the Mosky version of it that costs $20, and honestly, it sounds fine. Especially if you're using it as a boost pedal, like, and you're not using it the way it's meant to be used. Like it works absolutely fine.
Also, they stack like trash. Like I did a couple of videos where like I stacked a bunch of fuzzes, and surprisingly they were useful. I stacked a bunch of like two screamers. Surprisingly, they were useful. I stacked a bunch of like DOD 250s. You can stack those forever. Like you can probably stack 100 DOD 250s and still pass the usable signal. But I stacked like 3 Klon circuits, and it just turned into like a weird, like hyper mid focused mess. Like there was nothing left after a couple Klon circuits. Like they're a very filtered sound, and people think of them as a transparent drive, and they're not.
Oh no, they're
not.
I like how I demoed the Wish.com clone, and I said in that I would only feel like I got my money's worth of that $40 pedal if I got more than $40 in ad revenue.
Right.
So many people hate watch that video that I'm at like $55 in ad revenue on.
Yeah. I have never got anything from Wish actually sent to me. Like every time I've ordered something, it just doesn't show up.
I bought one of those.
Or when you get the stuff from Wish, it's not.
It's always garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
not
bought
even
one
worth
of those
it.
Wish. I bought one of those Wish Klons, but from somebody else, so they'd already taken the risk of it getting to them. And
right.
I wish I wasn't doing demos then, and I
Kinda
wish I
funny
had done
with
a
the
demo
clone.
of it.
So I built this clone, right? And I painted it
military green, and
Uh-huh.
so
That's a
my
good paint
plan
job.
was that it was a military. my
You froze.
Oh, man. It's like
back in a minute.
someone's trying to censor him. Like every
That was
time he tries
Kara.
to talk, they just like cut him off.
car. I
That's
was
what you get for
He's fine while he's
interrupting
yeah, like
Someone
completely.
put
And then, like,
that on there as the clone
Oh.
experience went so wrong.
Oh, I make I make a clone that has
Really
a
like
very
that.
similar picture on it.
I love that. So
Hey, sports writer, has anyone ever told you look like the General Zod from Superman 2?
yeah, he does.
You really did.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
I see it.
Now he just need a lot of leather.
I can't tell if he hears me.
The-
It doesn't seem like he hears me, but
I haven't seen that movie since it came out. I cannot remember how General Zod looks.
Well, I'm sorry. Someone started to ask me a question, and it was
it's okay.
chaos.
It's okay. I'm just playing around. Has anyone ever told you you look like General Zod from Superman 2? I'm gonna stop saying it.
No, that's the first, man.
Oh no.
Philip, you were telling a story. What was your story?
I got the wish.com one, and at the time I had one of the JHS clones that he made years ago, and
It
one of the
doesn't
gold
do it.
brass ones they doesn't do anymore, and I sold the JHS one. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I
Yeah.
timed it right because he had just put out that video where he compared the OG like number 2 with his remake, and they sounded identical. And I was like, oh, I wonder what these are going for on Reverb right now. There weren't any on Reverb. I was like, oh, let's just at $1,000. Let's see, sold in 12 hours.
Of course they sound identical.
Dang.
Of course they sound identical. It's so easy to mimic what a clone is. Like
You can find the schematic on Electro Smash.
Even
Like,
the clone guy is like, seriously, guys, don't do this. Like
Yeah.
he
I've got-
put it
I've
on
got
like the
3
remake
clone
of it, the
clones
KRT or
that all
whatever.
sound the same.
It's like a ridiculous fad that isn't gonna end well for anyone who overpays for them.
It's all. I
Oh.
think the only people buying them at this point are buying them as speculative investments, which I think is so cool.
It's like comic books. You remember when everyone tried to buy comic books after comic books were over? Like they started putting everything was like collector's edition, and none of those are collectible. You know, like
I don't know when the bubble will burst on clones. I don't know when someone will finally go like, I'm not willing to pay what they're charging anymore, and the prices will start going down. But if I owned one right now, I would sell it.
Yep.
I would not even pay $400 for one. I'd be happy to pay $200 for one.
If I had one in
I've
front of
always
me,
been more inclined to buying cheap pedals, but
I'd pay $400 right now, and I'd buy so many of them right now, and then I'd immediately sell them.
Yeah, I'd buy one right now in front of me for $2,000, $3,000. I'd buy one right now if somebody offered me one.
No.
So we've got a comment.
Why? They're selling for $5. They're selling for $5. Somebody offers me one for $2 or $3. I'm buying it right now.
But then you're the person that winds up getting stuck with it.
No, I'm the person who's going to sell it tomorrow because they're still selling. People are still buying them.
I've seen it for $4,000.
Kill really
It's so bizarre. It doesn't make sense at all.
Says Boss Blues Driver is the most expensive pedal to reasonably buy.
That's making my brain hurt as a sentence.
Hard to disagree.
Just get the Keeley Fat Mod, and it does the same thing.
Are you saying like best value?
So a Blues Driver Waza is $160 right now on Amazon. A regular Blues Driver is $102 on Amazon.
How much is a Keeley Fat Mod?
Keeley Fat Mod.
Like basically the
Waza.
Keeley version of the Waza.
Yeah, most of the clones will do the fat mod. Almost every clone that comes
Yeah.
from Moore,
Never
the Moore
played
one. They sound exactly the same. The Moore sounds like the stock Waza one or whatever. I don't even use the bass boost.
He's not
I
even
like
saying
it flat.
He's not even saying copies of that circuit.
The first time I
Keeley
heard it was on Music Is Wins channel when he bought the $5,000 clone. And it was something to do with just when he cranked the gain. Dude, the harmonic overtones, it just sounds so good.
Yeah, but you can't do that on a claw until you pass 12 o'clock. And no one does because they use it as a clean boost.
I do. I run it as my main
Okay,
overdrive.
so this is actually.
Well, you do it right, but not everyone does. Most people use it as a clean boost. It's meant to be an overdrive. It's not meant to be a clean boost.
So I think that commenter
This is the Mossy.
is saying that no pedal above.
Oh, I get it. That's
Blue
true, though. I mean, that is kind of true.
But there's pedals that
no.
have all kinds of extreme engineering going on. Like, are we counting?
If you want like a 3-knob distortion pedal, that is true. I mean, like, but if you want it to do shit, that's not true.
No, I think if you're buying a 3-knob overdrive or distortion or fuzz or whatever like that, unless there's really extreme cases of components or something like that, the vast majority of dirt pedals are gonna be like, yeah, don't pay over, like Boss prices if you don't have to. Like, there's plenty of options out there, but there's tons of pedals out there that are full of computers and all sorts of like tricks and stuff and bells and whistles that you can't get elsewhere for kind of money.
But you need that sound to pay that money. Like
exactly. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, that's true. I have like 80 pedals. So.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Looking around, I'm like,
I don't ever use any of them. Like I play bass.
Or if you just like buy pedals because you appreciate what somebody's making.
Yep.
I can't get into a spring reverb for less than a few $100, like that I like,
like an actual spring unit that sits on top.
I'm talking about digital pedals, like like the EHX Oceans 11 is the cheapest spring reverb sound that I recommend. And I think even that's like 160 or something like that, right? Like they're not cheap.
I'll pay up for a reverb because it's hard to get like a good cheap reverb, but distortions I'm not. Because
I think you should be pickier about distortions.
Really?
Yeah,
Nah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I can make my amps make distortions sound different. Like
maybe.
I think if you're looking for something common, like if you want a tube screamer and you go and you pay $400 for a tube screamer that's 3-knob and doesn't have other options or something special going on that's completely apparent, then it's like, what are you even doing?
Or how about the people that pay $900 for the original tube screamers? Like they sound exactly the same as the new ones. Like
they're not buying a musical instrument; they're buying a trophy for their mantle.
Yeah,
but they look the same. They just put one there and tell people it's the old one, and no one will be able to prove you wrong.
If that stuff becomes common enough, we're going to see professional pedal relicking become a thing. I got a super chat here that I can read from Snarky K, $5. Thank you, Snarky. I think you super chatted earlier too. You guys, you multiple offenders giving me money. I'm only going to.
You're right.
I'm only going to use that money for food.
No, that's a first for me.
Snarky says, I just scored myself a ZVEX Vextron Series Mastodon Fuzz guitar effects pedal. Have you tried one of those yet? Getting close to 6K, buddy.
What?
Oh, Snarky
Don't
says,
do that. They're like 400.
No. Snarky wants me to let people pee on me for an
hour. He's that guy? Is that guy?
Yeah, I said on the podcast that I would let people pee on me for a full hour for $6,000.
An hour? Ryan! That's way more expensive than that. You need to ask the ladies about their rates.
I mean, I probably would take 6,000 for that.
Oh my God!
But I would have asked for more at the start.
That's
make sure nobody eats asparagus first.
That's really understandable.
I wouldn't even care. I would take the $6,000.
I'm not a lady.
You start to care after a while. You can start to
Too
get
many people do that for free. You're not going to get 6K. Too many people do that for free.
An hour. It's the amount of
An hour is a long time, but they're not going to pee consistently for the hour. They're going to have to stop.
Listen, how many people would it be?
What's wrong with you? Exactly. Is it like
why is someone paying $6,000?
Is $6,000? I could take like.
I feel like I would do it. I feel like I would do it.
I could have like a 2-month-long vacation. Right? Not letting people pee on me.
It's a weird number to pick. Like 6,000 is a weird number to pick, but I feel like I would do it.
No,
$100 a minute. Right?
I'm sure after like a couple minutes,
you just Google what that would Google the cost of it. That's for one time. Then multiply that times what? I
feel like you can get 10.
That's not enough money.
It so is though, because just like block it out of your head. What do
I'm
you
really
care?
fighting the urge
Like a lot
to
of
Google
money.
this. Like pull up a Tor browser.
Don't ruin your.
get
Don't ruin
DuckDuckGo.
your.
I
Don't
don't
ruin-
believe that anyone would pay me to do it. Like, I don't believe the guy will really pay you $6,000 to do it. But the hour thing is weird. Like, why is it not one time?
And, yeah, and, like one time, but like the whole hour. The
This
whole
is what
hour,
I'm
I'd be worried you'd start to get like hypothermia. Like,
Is
you'd
he
be
bringing
wet for an
friends?
hour.
How are they doing this?
This is what I said. This is what I said on the podcast. I said that for $6,000, I would sit in a folding chair outside of an all-you-can-eat asparagus restaurant and let people pee on me for an hour.
You'd get so cold.
Ew.
Is this
I'm not going to get cold.
I mean, I feel it's a weird thing to offer for $6,000, but if someone offered it to me, I feel like I would take it.
I think everybody's
For the
ignoring-
$6,000.
is it
ignoring
is
the
it
part that makes it impractical. The asparagus restaurant. Come on.
I don't care
Where-
about that. What do you? At the point of people pissing on you,
I-
why do you care what it
is this
smells
a
like?
kink?
Like,
Is this a kink, Ryan?
It's not. No, I don't want it to happen.
who cares what it smells like?
I like Steven's question there. Like, there
I'm a
have
little
are there
worried that-
rules?
That Snarky is going to make it happen.
No.
Dude, if someone gives you $6,000, totally do that. Plus, you'll get views. Like if you put that on YouTube.
Yo, I just want to point out that I've got
I
some,
don't. I don't think that's getting on YouTube.
wide ass Daryl Brown teeth going on right now.
As long as you're still closed, it would get on YouTube. If you're,
Like,
if you're still wearing.
are you clothed? Are you wearing a swimsuit? Are you wearing a face shield?
I think I'd be in a tuxedo.
You're going to get cold. I'm
A
sorry.
rented tuxedo.
You're not getting the deposit back, so
You
might
give
as
it
well
back to
buy
like.
it.
What the fuck?
You're not getting that deposit back.
Give it back to Men's Warehouse.
Like,
Here, I have it. I rented the suit here. I don't know what happened to it, but it smells
The
musty.
first
I don't know what
person
happened
trying
to it.
like get your deposit back on a tuxedo that someone's pissed on.
I
A
love
lot.
not
do
someone.
tuxedos have deposits?
Everyone
Yeah.
pissed on.
I honestly, when I was in high school, I bought my own tuxedo because I was going to proms, and I was like, I bought like a $140 tuxedo, and I was like, fuck this, and just wore it forever. I wore it like 4 years ago to a wedding. Like, I don't care at all.
Do you bring the tuxedo in while they're open, or do you just like hang it on the door and hope for the best?
I've got in my mind that the next time there's a non-COVID NAM, I'm going to do formal NAM. I'm going to do winter formal NAM, and I'm going to wear a tuxedo every day on the floor of NAM.
Oh my god.
That sounds hilarious.
That's a good
That sounds
idea.
freaking
Seriously, when you
hilarious.
see someone in a tuxedo, you're like, what is wrong with that guy? Like,
Yeah.
unless they're at like a tuxedo thing, like you just look and you're like,
At a tuxedo thing. You know, it's a tuxedo thing, a tuxedo event.
Have you ever
Well,
had
I
someone in a
suppose with black tie.
If you see someone in a tuxedo outside of a tuxedo appropriate event, it's like, are they a spy? Is that
you
James
just think they're crazy. You just think that person's a crazy person.
Are they?
Oh,
So
Ryan needs attention. Ryan needs attention again, guys. Gotta give Ryan some
Is
attention.
Oh, nailed it. That's it.
every demo Ryan plays has to include Secret Agent Man?
Easy.
Paul is joining the stream. Hey, Paul.
man who lives
Hello.
Rickenbacker.
Paul's got a Rickenbacker back there.
And a Pulp Fiction poster. I'm liking it so far.
Yeah,
Ryan, it's a Rickenbacker.
I know. I'm surprised he's here. My mortal enemy.
It's not Backer.
Ribbon Barber?
Rickenbacker.
Barber? Anytime
I thought it was Reichenbachmer.
Anytime on one of my videos where someone corrects my pronunciation, I reply to them with a hilarious
Wait, people are
misspelling.
paying $900 for a TS-808? That's crazy.
Snarky's mad that you never. Snarky's understandably upset that you never answered Snarky's question.
What was this question? Oh, that have I ever tried a Mastodon? I have not tried a Mastodon, but some people claim that Some people claim that the Kuvabe is based on the Mastodon, so I should probably track one down and try it.
I feel like the Z-Vex are too overpriced now.
I thought that
for what they are. I mean,
weren't they always?
Z-Vex has always been expensive. Like that's been
Well,
his thing.
They
is that-
started like 240 new, right? Like brand new.
But back then, like that was an insane price for pedals.
So when Zachary Vex first got into stores, he literally walked into a store and said, "How much is your most expensive pedal? Make this more than that." That was exactly how he priced his pedals. Yeah, he said, "Make this more than that."
When
That's
I
how
saw
Ryan should price his sex work.
when I saw that in the pedal movie, I
just got a Bliss Factory.
We got the Rickenbackers are ganging up on me.
Oh man! I had one. I sold it. I bought it for $850.
I've always wanted a 4001 though.
I didn't hear anything anyone said, by the way.
It's okay.
We weren't talking
So
about
I've always wanted a 4001 bass.
Yeah.
It's my baby.
4001,
I love
always
this
wanted
thing.
one.
It's a 96.
So it's supposed to be
think-
Baker, right? Rickenbacker.
It is Rickenbacker. I live in Germany.
Americanized.
I live in Germany.
It seriously is
Rickenbacker.
It's not a German company. It's a California company.
No, it was a German immigrant who moved to America.
It's someone's name.
So the name is actually German.
It's like you can't change the way you pronounce someone's name. You can change the way.
Yeah, you can. Welcome to America.
The founder of the company changed the way he pronounced his name. He did start it as one pronunciation, changed it to another.
What was the original and the new?
That's the problem right now. I can't remember.
Originally, it was Rickenbacker, and then they changed it to Rickenbacker to be more American because they hated the Germans during the World War II.
That's right. That's
just
right. He
like,
changed it during World War II.
Just like
It's
that's
like
our company.
the royal family of the United Kingdom used to be Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, and they changed that to Windsor.
By the way, your
First World
accent is awesome. By the way.
Okay, great.
It's like the old.
They changed that to Windsor because it seemed too German during the First World War.
Yeah.
Aria was he reversed the last two letters because it sounded more Spanish. It was ARAI, and then he changed it to Aria. The old ones still have it spelled the way his last name was, because that was the guy who started his last name, ARAI, and then he switched it to Aria because it sounded like a musical aria.
Oh, it's Moog. It's Moog. Moog is Moog,
Moog,
not Moog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually pronounced Ibanez. When you talk about it.
Ibanez.
Ibanez, right? It would be Ibanez.
Ibanez.
Although,
Ibanez.
But Ibanez would have a tilde on the end. But yeah.
It's also the car company Studebaker.
How is that wrong?
That's no Studebaker. It's also German, and Germany it would be Studebaker.
Okay, I still think it's Rickenbacker, but
it really doesn't matter as long as people know what you're talking about when you say the word. It really doesn't matter how you pronounce anything. Yes.
Have you ever heard of a fiender?
Oh, a seven ender?
A fiender.
My kids say things in wild ways that I've never heard in my entire life, and I still understand exactly what they're saying. Like, as long as people are saying it.
When
I
people
own some Gibson guitars.
Right.
I remember
here in Germany, they Germanize pretty much any guitar company. Like Ibanez is Ibanez, or
didn't they?
The worst one is JBL, like the company JBL, the speaker company, right?
Funny story about tuxedos from my senior prom.
They sold They
say
sold Ivan as a
BBL.
Eagle
Me and my best friend at the
Even
time, we
as-
rented the Dumb and Dumber tuxedos. I had the bright orange one, and he had the blue one, and it was amazing.
All
Oh,
right,
we had
guys,
the top hats and the canes and everything.
I gotta call it. A show here. It's time for me to go. But one of my favorite things I want to say as a closing thought that I've heard German people say when I visit over there is here in the U.S. we call them UFOs, as far as unidentified flying objects. In Germany, they call them UFOs, and I think that's adorable. They pronounce it UFOs. All right, I gotta go, guys.
I've heard people here say UFOs.
Fun hanging out. Later, dudes.
Bye.